Welcome back, fellow guitarists, and this lesson is all about mastering your bar chords all over the guitar neck, and just so you have more options when you're playing your songs, making up your songs, playing through chord progressions. You don't have to just be stuck down here. You can be all over the neck, wherever you want. So just a bit about bar chords. All they are, I think they're overlooked as this scary thing when you're first learning guitar, but all they are just chord shapes, just moved up the neck. And whatever position you go to on the neck, you always have a different chord. So for instance, here I play G, move up that exact same shape up 2 frets to get A, move up the exact same shape up 2 frets to get B. So actually once you start getting these, once you start getting the strength to form the shape, it's a lot easier because all you have to do is memorise 1 or 2 bar chord shapes for a string, and you've got different notes each time, different chords each time, and the actual shape here isn't really changing unless you want to do major or minor. So firstly, let's just start with forming the bar, which is probably the hardest thing just to get used to, because it takes a little while for your fingers to stretch and your hand to get strong enough so you can do that. At first it's probably going to sound a bit, but don't worry, that's just part of the process. So what you want to do is, when I teach, I just say to follow the dots up here, just form the bar, follow the dots up, and back down. And when you're forming the bar, instead of sort of having your finger matching the level of the guitar there, nice and straight like that, it doesn't work. You can just about do it, but when you want to start forming these shapes, I can feel tension all up here, and it makes your life way harder when you start to learn. So what I do is I bring my finger right up, just so it's poking over the top of the guitar. My thumb is at the back, so I can sort of clamp down to push this finger down into the strings. And instead of having it nice and flat across the guitar there, I actually have it rolled back. So instead of having it there, I have it on the side here, just like that. And for me, that gives me a better sound for the bar chords, and it feels a lot more comfortable. It's going to work differently for different people, but in terms of comfort, you just need to find what works best for you. But try this first, and then slowly your hand will just start adjusting to what feels best and what gets the right sound out. So once you've got used to that, go up the neck, come back down, give that a few goes, give it a couple of days just to get used to that, and then we can start thinking about putting the shape to make the chord. So let's just start with the E string first. So we call this, just up a bar chord position rooted from the E string. So what we want to do, we want to think of this E shape first, and that's our major shape, just E there. And then obviously when you want to make your minor shape, you move to that E minor shape. And we're going to be using them two shapes for major and minor moved up the neck, the whole way up and down. It doesn't change from the E or the E minor, but obviously we have a bar in front of it to determine if it's going to be a major or a minor chord. So at first, I just want you to get used to that major shape, and then instead of using your first, second and third finger, I want you to use your second finger on the G on the first fret, third finger on the A on the second fret, and your fourth finger on the D on the second fret. And that's going to make the exact same chord, E, but we're just using some different fingers. So this finger is now free to be our bar. So let's just start moving it up the neck. Let's move it up to, let's put the bar on the third fret and form that E shape above that bar. So bar on the third fret, I'm going to form that E just there. And right there we have G major. So what determines the chord is actually the E string here, which our bar is on. And as you can see, there's no fingers down here on the E string. It's only this first finger that's on the 3rd fret of the E, which is the G. So wherever we move this chord, the root note is always going to be on this bar on the E string. So if we want to make it into an A, for instance, so A on the E string is the 5th fret, we just move the bar up to the 5th fret and play that major shape. We've got our A major. Simple as that. And then wherever we move it on the neck, we move up to the 10th fret. Obviously our 10th fret of the E string is D, so that's just our D major chord. And now we can just make all these chords into minor chords by adjusting our shape here, our E shape, into an E minor shape. So all we need to do is lift this 2nd finger off, and we've got our minor. And it's exactly the same root note. So that's D minor. If you move it back down to the 3rd fret, which we started on, which is G, that's just a G minor now. So play G major, we just play that E major shape. And then to play G minor, we take the 2nd finger off. And you've got your minor there. And you can move that all over the neck. Wherever you like. So that frees up so much more than just playing these open chords down here. So wherever you are, you've got G major, G minor, A major, A minor, B major, B minor, C sharp major, C sharp minor. You've just got two shapes there, the major and the minor, and you can just move that any way you want, and you've got a different chord each time. So that's the benefit of these bar chords. You can move these 2 shapes around wherever you want, and you can play any chord you want, as long as it's just major or minor. And once you're done with that, we can start moving on to the other shapes, which is rooted from the A string, which is the 5th, the 2nd one down. And how we do that is exactly the same. We want to bar. So in terms of barring for this, I generally just bar up to that 5th string, the A string. I don't actually put my finger over this time, because then I'll be barring that 6th string, which we don't want, because we'll start hearing that, which we don't want to do. So I just bar from the 5th string downwards, and even though my finger is still adjacent to that A string, I'm still sort of rolling it back a bit instead of straight on, because it's quite hard. So I just tend to roll my wrist back like that, and then it goes onto the side of my finger a little more. And just to get your strength up, go through them dots again, and we don't play this E, we just play from the A downwards. So we'll go. Just get used to that, get them sounding good, and then we'll start putting the chord shapes on it. Just give it a go around, moving around the neck, and just give it a little while before it starts making some nice sounds. It will sound for a little while, but as your hand gets stronger and more flexible, it will start changing. So to form the chord shapes for the A string, we're actually going to be using the A major shape, open down here like this. But because we're barring it, I'm actually just going to bar these 3 notes that my fingers are on with my 3rd finger. So instead of playing 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G, 2nd fret B, I'm still going to be playing them notes, but just barring it with my 3rd finger. So I'm playing all them notes that I'm playing in the open chord just with my 3rd finger. And you've got your shape. And then that gives us our 1st finger to stick the bar down and give us our chords. So let's move up to the 3rd fret first. So we're going to put our bar down on the 3rd fret, and then we're going to form that A shape 2 frets above with our 3rd finger, just like that. And that gives us a C, because whenever we're going to, like we did with the other one, we're going to be rooting with the A string this time. So the A string, just there on the 3rd fret, is C, and this is our major shape at the moment. So that gives us our C chord. If we move it up to the 5th fret, our 5th fret on the A string is D, so that gives us our D major. Move it up 2 more to the E major, 2 more to the F sharp major. So there are our major shapes for that. And just to make it minor, so just have a think if you ever get stuck. How do you make A minor? You just look at that, and we just move that shape up the neck with the bar on it. So if we go up to the 3rd fret again, which is C, and we make an A minor shape on top of that, we've got C minor then. Move it up 2 more to the 5th, we've got D minor. Move it up 2 more to the 7th, we've got E minor. Move it up to the 9th to the F sharp, we've got F sharp minor. So we've got major and minor shapes there. Major is like that for the C. C major, C minor, D major, D minor, E major, E minor, F sharp major, F sharp minor. So just study them shapes. You know, we've got in total we've got 4 shapes just to look at. First 2 are rooted on the E, and the second 2 are rooted on the A. So the first 2, major and minor on the E, was that E shape and E minor shape. And then the second 2 of the major and minor was rooted from the A string, from the A shape, and the A minor shape. And once you get used to them, you know, you've got so many more options to go to when you're playing songs. So instead of just playing, let's say, A minor, C, F. We can just start moving it into bar chord shapes, and we can go A minor, C, shapes. So just get them down, really work at just getting them sounding nice and clean. And the best thing to do when you want to make sense of all these chords and know exactly where to go when, say, a B flat comes out, is just to study the notes of the guitar neck on the E and the A string. So get them down pretty well. So I'll just go through them now quick. So 3rd on the E, we'll just go through the dots first. So get them down, which is the easiest thing to do. And then the rest will start filling themselves in, and we'll do some more lessons on that. So the 3rd fret on the E string is G, up to the 5th is A, 7th is B, 9th is C sharp, 12th is back to the E. On the A string, 3rd is C, 5th is D, 7th is E, 9th is F sharp, 12th is back to the A. So write them down and practice your shapes for them, you know, so you can play G, and you can always do sort of like play G in 2 different bar chord positions. So you can go G major there, rooted from the E, and then you think, what would G be rooted from the A string? So you'd go up to the 10th fret, G, and you'd play the major shape there. So you've got 2 more places to play that G major chord. And try that with a few different ones. Just say maybe, how can I do C minor in 2 different bar chord positions? So you'd find, firstly you'd think root on the E string, minor shape. You'd go up to the 8th, which is C, and you play that minor shape. And then you'd think root from the A, so you'd go to the A string, find the C, which is the 3rd fret, and you play that minor shape, root from the A. So yeah, get them down, because it'll open up a whole world of guitar playing for you, and you'll be a lot more free to play the songs you want. And again, you know, if you want these PDFs of all these bar chord shapes and loads more exercises just to get you used to all these shapes, and diagrams of the notes of the guitar neck, you know, head onto my Patreon page. It's on the description below the video, and you can get all of that there. Cool. Enjoy. Thanks a lot. Take care.